1974 Super Bowl VIII in Rice Stadium, Houston, Texas. The Dolphins won it with Larry Zonka and a ball control attack spearheaded by a brilliant offensive line. Defensively, Miami refused to give Minnesota's quarterback Fran Tarkenton an opportunity to get his spectacular game in gear. 8 years later, the story basically the same. The Dolphins, with tough Andrew Franklin in his second year and a solid front wall, once again are out to control the ball. They want to keep it away from Minnesota any way they can, and they want to keep it away from an explosive Viking air attack with Tommy Kramer at the controls and targets like Sammy White, who caught 3 touchdown passes last week against the Bears. They're at it again, the Vikings and the Dolphins. And the Vikings defeating Chicago in a big way last Sunday. And we're underway in the Orange Bowl, and Von Schauman's kick 7 yards in the end zone to Red Wine. It'll be a touchback. Darren Nelson and Galbraith. And it's Tony Galbraith for a couple of yards up the middle, and let's set the Miami Dolphins defense for Kramer. In motion comes Sammy White. Darren Nelson, with his first carry, has a first down past the 30-yard line, and he is finally brought down by Mike Kozlowski. In motion toward the line is Sammy White, and here's Galbraith cutting inside, and Galbraith is hit by Kim Bokamper at 37 following the 3-yard pickup. So far, Kramer, everything on the ground. Galbraith goes in motion. And the pass up the middle intended for Darren Nelson was not a good pass. And Fulton Walker are in there for Miami. In motion, Terry LeCount, and Kramer's pass is caught by Galbraith, but he won't go anywhere. And good pursuit and defense has averaged 39.5 yards. Tommy Vigorito is single safety as Coleman will punt from the 23. Vigorito, one of the best punt returners in the National Football League at the 18. And he runs it out to the 37-yard line. 7 for 40 in the first half with an interception against Tampa Bay. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Woodley to the air on first down. Vigorito gets by one tackler, and Vigorito picks up maybe 6 or 7 yards. In 5. In motion is Hardy. And now he comes back. Andrew Franklin is hit immediately by Fred McNeil, the right linebacker. The shotgun now for David Woodley. At 3rd and 2, Woodley double pumps, and the pass is dropped.
I think if he would have held on to that ball, he probably would have made the first down anyway.
Morris with an end-over-end kick that Hayton inside the 15-yard line, and a slew of white jerseys knocks him back. Joe Sensor and Bob Brewer are twin tight ends at the 16-yard line for the Vikings. They have a long way to go. Sensor went in motion. Darren Nelson can't break a tackle. A.J. Dewey.
He said, hey, I didn't hurt you.
You really got him when you...
Well, he was shocked. He ended up marrying Francis, by the way.
2nd and 6. Darren Nelson trying to go outside. 10 now for the Vikings on their own 32. No score, just under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Galbraith gets 4 yards on the play. Split left. Play action pass, and Dewey is in on Kramer. And the tackle is made by Larry Gordon. Another 3 wide receivers. Terry LeCount, number 80, is the 3rd for the Vikings. And he's in motion. High snap from center. Kramer's pass is caught at the 39-yard line by LeCount, who lateraled in front of him. 2nd in the AFC in punt returns. Greg Coleman will kick from the 25. So the 9-yard pickup was not enough, and Coleman gets off a low kick. The short man at the 34-yard line fields it. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Hardy and Lee are 2 tight ends in there for the Dolphins. And here's Andrew Franklin. Franklin gets to the 40-yard line. Scott's
nice handy thing to have strong arms for middle linebacker.
Nat Moore is in for Cephalo. 2nd and 6 at the 40. Franklin cutting inside. He'll be stopped short of a first down, but it'll be 3rd and a couple of yards. 5 for the Dolphins. 6:40 remaining. motion. No score. First quarter. And Andra Franklin has the first down for Miami.
Passes and do some good in this opening quarter.
First and 10 now at the 43 for the Dolphins. No score. Woodley with a drop back. He gets by one tackler and gets into Minnesota territory at the gain of 4, second and 6 now at the 48 of Minnesota. Woodley looking for room. He's got room to run on the right. And his pass is caught. Jimmy Cepolo at the 20. Cepolo at the 5. Brought down at the 3-yard line. First and goal at the 2-yard line. And Andra Franklin. Franklin and Hill, 3 tight ends and 2 running backs for Miami. Andra Franklin with Hill blocking in front. Third and goal at the 1. And Woodley drops back. His pass to Andra Franklin. And he doesn't make it in, I don't believe. Woodley, touchdown. With 2:48 remaining here in the first quarter. High snap, the kick is blocked. The extra point is blocked. And a
quarterback sneak, you got the quarterback leap right here. He just leaps over the stack. Normally you see a running back, but Woodley's a good athlete. He leaps right there, and it is awfully close. See the official down there at the top of your screen is the one that threw up the arms immediately.
First and goal inside. It wasn't easy for them to score when they got close. Von Schauman's kick fielded by Redwine. A yard in the end zone, hesitates, and now runs it out. And an indecision by the second-year player from Nebraska. Angle, I thought the ball did go over the plane barely. First and 10 on the 17 now for the Vikings, trailing 6-0. Tony Galbraith and Darren Nelson, and they go out for the pass play. Ahmad Rashad at the 22, second and 6. Darren Nelson. And you just can't go outside against this team. At the 23. Kramer has enough time. He finds Sensor, the tight end. And Joe Sensor has a first down at the 32-yard line. Young, number 34, replaces Darren Nelson in the backfield for Minnesota. Sammy White in motion. And here is Ricky Young. And Young gets to the 37-yard line. Ricky Young. Tony Galbraith to split backs. Kramer's pass is low, and Ahmad Rashad, the intended receiver. 3rd and 1 at the 42. 2 tight ends for the Vikings. Galbraith has the first down. Play action, and Tommy Kramer has a lot of receivers downfield, and he finds Sammy White. First down.
Got the big play.
24-yard pickup. Kramer, this time Rashad, the sideline pattern. He joins Joe Sensor, 2 tight ends in there. In motion, Sensor. And Galbraith has the first down. And good second effort by Tony gets him inside the 20-yard. Kramer. And this time, Kramer hit
Kramer to get just to prevent the trap.
2nd and 9 at the 18. The Vikings trying to tie the game and go ahead here on the arm of Tommy Kramer. Dewey, and now Kramer has room. Penalty marker down at the 5-yard line, and Tommy Kramer is into the end zone.
Ricky Young, of course, got a great block on that to spring him to the outside.
Rick Danmeyer, who has not missed a 15-yard touchdown, and actually he did not really get in. Fulton Walker on Dan Meyer's kickoff at the goal line. Walker can return him, but not this time.
Nimble Tommy right here. He does not quite get in. He's knocked out of bounds right here by number 47, Keith Nord. And number 47, Glenn Blackwood from Miami.
1 wide right. Duriel Harris, 82, split to the left. The lone running back, as Hardy goes in motion, is Franklin, who carries the ball. Andra Franklin gets some tough yards out. 7-6 Minnesota. shotgun.
Well, they're blitzing the kitchen sink here. Everybody's coming.
Woodley's pass is just past the outreach of Jimmy Cephalo.
Anything can happen.
Tom Morris will kick from inside the 10. Eddie Payton is back for the Vikings at the 36. And he's down at the 40-yard line. 6 defensive backs in there. 1st and 10 Minnesota at the 41. Galbraith picks up close to 5 yards.
The middle and get some yards to make them respect the run.
2nd and 7 at the 44. Pressure on Kramer. Backs in there. Kramer. Pass. And the official was looking to see whether there'd be a possible flag. Who will be kicking to Tommy Vigorito, who is a single safety inside the 20. Vigorito returned one against the Steelers last year, 87 yards for a Miami record. Good high kick. Vigorito at the 22. Penalty marker is down. Replaces Ed Newman at right guard. Taves is number 60. Andra Franklin, nothing. And terrific play by Scott Studwell. 2nd and 9 on the 12-yard line. Rufus Bess is a nickel back now for the Vikings. Vigorito fumbles the handoff, cuts inside, and brings the ball out to the 18-yard line. Franklin and Eddie Hill are the setbacks. And there's Franklin. He should have the first down. He caught that pass for 46 yards that led to Miami's score. Bruce Hardy, the tight end, in motion. Franklin, a workhorse, has an opening outside. Shakes off one tackler, and Andra Franklin is... In motion, Nat Moore. Vigorito picks up 5 yards going, as you do toward Navy, and that's why you're singing some good tunes today after Navy's victory over Army. 1st and 10. Screen pass, Vigorito. And Matt Blair was right there.
Matt Blair is okay.
They're at the 34, 2nd and long, 2nd and 12. Woodley, he was going for Eddie Hill, and covering on the play was the linebacker Dennis Johnson. He snaps the ball in the shotgun situations for the Dolphins. They're at the 34. Pressure on Woodley. And he finds Nat Moore. He does not have a first down. Moore is stopped against Tampa Bay, and Don Shula said that shouldn't happen with a 2-step kicker. This one will drop at the 25. And the Dolphins will down it at the 22-yard line. Play was Blair's block of a Von Schaman conversion. 7-6 the score. In motion, Joe Sensor. And the flip to Darren Nelson. Nelson brought back from behind at the 25-yard line.
Run well on grass, too, so he needs to have a big game for Minnesota.
At the 25, 2nd and 7. Kramer going for White, and it's intercepted by Gordon. Larry Gordon with the interception. 1st and 10 Miami at the 20 of Minnesota. The Minnesota 20 with 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Woodley is down at the 30. Loss of 9, 2nd and 19. And they want to knock the Dolphins out of field goal range with under 3 minutes to go in the half. Woodley up the middle. Completes the pass to the 26 to Bruce Hardy. 5 for 8, 54 yards. James White and Randy Holloway, 4 down linemen for the Vikes. And a fumble. Woodley gets rid of it and completes the pass to Joe Rose. For 7 this year. The one he missed was 56 yards. Strock is holding. And the kick is no good. It is off to the right. They have all of their timeouts remaining, as do the Dolphins. 1:55 in the first half. Darren Nelson, and a good fake by Tommy Kramer, but once again, when you try to test the outside...
Not getting any points for Miami helps Kramer.
2nd and 4. Galbraith to the 31. I think he has the first down with his forward. He used to play Mississippi many years ago. Terry LeCount is in there as a 3rd wide receiver. 6 defensive backs for the Dolphins. 1st and 10 at the 31. Tommy Kramer drills throws it to Joe Sensor. He does not have a first down. The clock continues to run at the... Kramer 10 for 13 now. Tommy looking for help. Sensor has a first down, but more important, he goes out of bounds, stopping the clock. At the 43, first and 10. 53 seconds to go, and here comes the safety blitz.
A decision.
Second down and 10, 48 seconds to go in the half. 7-6 the Vikings. This pass incomplete. Sammy White had A.J. Dewey, of all people. Lewis is the third wide receiver for Tommy Kramer. Third and 10 at the 43. Up the middle. It's caught. And a first down. Terry LeCounte. Vikes have one timeout remaining. 35 seconds on the clock. Clock is a big factor here. Sensor in motion. Kramer. And that pass is almost intercepted. LeCounte was the intended receiver. Second and 10 at the 35. 29 seconds now showing on the clock. Kramer. Intercepted this time by Fulton Walker. Walker to the 35 and the 40. The 47. Woodley has Cephalo wide open. Cephalo still on. First, Rose, Cephalo, and Nat Moore. Ball is at the 28. Woodley into the throng. Caught. Nat Moore. Yes.
Rufus Beth. I don't want to credit John Turner for that mistake.
Strock holding. A 35-yard attempt with 2 seconds to play in the first half. Von Schaman missed a conversion and a field goal. But this kick is good. With that record in the big battle in the NFC, Miami Dolphins 3-1, and Fulton Walker, who had a key interception on the 10-yard line, returns the kick and is upended at the 26-yard line. However, by Fulton Walker at the 27. Andra Franklin trying to go outside, and he carries Studwell on his back for a couple of yards. Carries in the first half. Quarterback draw, but the Vikings were there. Ball at the 31. Woodley up the middle. Duriel Harris has a first down. 9-7. The Dolphins lead the Vikings. And Bruce Hardy is in motion. And Andra Franklin.
Former fullbacks, they miss Nathan.
Second and 2 at the 47. Nat Moore in motion. Tommy Vigorito is stopped short of a first down. Good play. Eddie Hill and Andra Franklin, 2 big backs. And it's Franklin, first down. Picks up some extra yards and Minnesota. Bruce Hardy, the tight end, in motion, and the pitch goes to Eddie Hill on the option pass. Jimmy Cephalo can't come back to it. It was a short pass. Second and 10 at the 45. Andra Franklin gets outside. And he's 6, first and 10. Lee and Hardy, 2 tight ends. Play action. Woodley being rushed. Woodley inside the 30. 9-7 Dolphins. The ball at the 28 of the Vikings. Vigorito. Nothing on the play. Everything. Second and 8 at the 26 now. Woodley. Nat Moore. Inside the 20. Conversions. Lee and Hardy, 2 tight ends. And it's Eddie Hill with a first down. First and 10 at the 16. Miami's practically doubled Minnesota's first down output. That's Andra Franklin, who is cut down for a loss, and good back for the Vikings. Second and 10. Up the middle, Hardy. And the Vikings just won't let him inside the 10. He's 125 yards. We'll put it up again. This one is a 28-yard attempt. Holding his stroke. And the kick is perfect. Eddie Payton and Jarvis Redwine are deep. And this kick sails into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Rise to next Sunday, and it all starts with the NFL today. First and 10 on the 20. Play action pass. Kramer in trouble and down at the 5. Dolphins play it. Charles Bowser with good speed. Number 56 is in at linebacker for Miami. Penalty marker is down. Go that way. Jerry LeCount is the third wide receiver. Second down and 27 on the 3. Galbraith. Yes, and they played it well today. And the flip, Galbraith. And he gets it out to the 9. Who is 5 yards about away from midfield. It is a short kick. It bounces and goes out of bounds. It was a short kick, but it took a Minnesota bounce at the 48-yard line. The Vikings have not forced a turnover. Dolphins have done most of that, and Andra Franklin barreling off the left side. Crowder at the 41-yard line of Minnesota. This could be a big drive for the Dolphins if they can go all the way. Andra Franklin barreling his way to the 35-yard line. Second and 4 at the 35 for Woodley. Eddie Hill is in at running back, and Bruce Hardy is in motion. Here is Eddie Hill. And a good defensive play by Tommy Hannon. Dick Stockton and Roger Staubach of the Orange Bowl. 1:20 to go in the third quarter, and Andra Franklin very close. And Cephalo is wide right. First and 10 at the 30-yard line. And Andra Franklin again with a good block by Ed Newman, and Franklin is off with another first down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line of Minnesota. Dolphins trying to open up a lead, and Franklin again inside the 15-yard line. Second and 3 at the 12. In that third quarter. Andra Franklin, not much this time, gets to the 10-yard line. In the first quarter, tough yardage inside. Andra Franklin all the way, touchdown Miami. 40 yards on 6 carries. And Von Schaman, kick is good. In front now of Minnesota. Important game for the Vikings at 2-2. There's a logjam there with 4 clubs in the NFC, and this kick by Von Schaman sails into the end zone. That's for sure. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. In motion, Sammy White. And you can expect Kramer to go up on top in this series if he can. Here's Tony Galbraith out of the backfield. Career more than Redwine. Kramer is dumped at the 20. A lot today. Third down and 9 at the 21. Kramer, slingshot pass, incomplete. And they look like they have a world of confidence right now. Good field position, controlling the ball. Coleman angling it away from Vigorito, who calls for a fair catch at the 38-yard roll offense. Passing on first down. Up top, it was tipped and an incomplete pass. Key to the ball game. Again, we must tell you at the top, the offensive line, ball control, and Franklin's running. And here is Andra again. Cuts inside nicely and moves it up now to the 44-yard. Pass complete, first down. Eddie Hill fumbles, and here comes John Turner down the sideline. John Turner is knocked out of bounds, and that's what the Vikings wanted. A big. Normally you go to the air with a big play after a turnover like that. Play action. Kramer in trouble. Severn came in on the play. It is second now and 17 at the 29-yard line. Kramer in the shotgun. Penalty flag is down. He dumps it off to Galbraith. Galbraith still going inside the 20. Galbraith still going to the 15. Galbraith down to the 11-yard line. Ricky Young, number 34, is in the backfield. Kramer fires is incomplete. Penalty flag down. 2 penalties. Nearly 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Galbraith gets inside the 5 to the 2. Use him a lot as a receiver on goal line plays. Galbraith, short, does not make it. It'll at the 1. And Galbraith is in for the touchdown. Try to bring the Vikings to within 5 of the Dolphins. His kick is good. Dan Meyer to kick off. 19-14 to score. Dan Meyer and Mark Mosley, the only straight-ahead place kickers in the NFL. Picked up by Rich Diana, the promising rookie from Yale, and he gets to the CBS Sports. 1st and 10 at the 35 for the Dolphins. Here's Andra Franklin. They haven't solved him yet. Fredley is 13 for 19 for 132 yards. He has a 2nd and 6 facing him. They'll go with Franklin again. Franklin is 2 yards shy. In motion, Hardy, and it's Franklin. Does not make it. And Scott Studwell was down. Tom Morris punting from the 30. Eddie Payton, single safety. Ball bounces at the 22 and takes a Miami bounce, and it is down at the 3-yard punt. 7:02 remaining in the 4th quarter. Kramer, but under pressure, he's going for Sammy White, and it's tipped at the last minute. Crowd yelling defense. Kramer in his end zone, going for White, and it's incomplete. Don McNeil covering on the other side makes a fine play. Sammy White in motion. Kramer gets it out to the 12-yard line to Sammy White. Coleman a yard in the end zone. Vigorito at the 45-yard line. The ball bounces at the 39 and will take a hop into Miami territory and stop the Dolphins. 6:04 remaining 4th quarter. They lead by 5 points, and Franklin gets back to the line of scrimmage. Doug at the 47. Tommy Vigorito looking for a hole, and he finds one, gets to midfield. Vikings have 6 defensive backs. Big play right here. Woodley's pass, penalty marker down. The pass is incomplete. 53-yard punt. It's got Leo Lewis, number 87, and Tommy Hannon back there along with Payton. He's going for the sidelines, and he hits it. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be the 25.
This car has been compared to cars more than twice its price. When people see its elegant style, its luxuriously spacious interior, and experience the quality of its engineering, they can't believe the Honda Accord 4-door lists for under $10,000. Which probably explains why it's the best-selling front-wheel drive 4-door sedan in Alabama, Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana.
From simple piston engines to turbocharged power. From 1 acre a day to 75 acres a day. Ideas that made America grow and made millionaires out of many who risked investing in them. At First Jersey Securities, we believe such investment opportunities still exist, if you know where to look for them. We do. We specialize in discovering America's emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities. Come grow with us.
There's Don Shula there, and right next to him with the jacket on is the Raleigh Fingers of the Miami Dolphins, Don Strock. Woodley's having a good game today with the help of the running game by Franklin, especially from the 2nd quarter on.
2nd and 4th and 35 for Woodley. Eddie Hill is in at running back, and Bruce Hardy is in motion. Here is Eddie Hill. And a good defensive play by Tommy Hannon, number 45, who prevented a first down. Hannon from Michigan State in his 6th year has had a sore elbow, and he had 4 interceptions last year, was tied for the team lead. Miami now faced with a 3rd down and 2. They are 6 for 12 in 3rd down conversions. Have done much better than Minnesota this year in that department.
They have. Minnesota's department, though, Miami's been to -3 in turnovers. That means the takeaways with interceptions and fumbles not getting as many as the other team, where Minnesota's been a plus in that area today, but they've been hurt with Kramer's 2 interceptions.
3rd and 2 at the 33. Dick Stockton and Roger Staubach of the Orange Bowl. 1:20 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Andra Franklin very close. The Dolphins feel they have the first down. We may get a measurement. We'll see where they spot it. Franklin, who's been gaining the key yards all day for the Dolphins. Forget Tony Nathan, the big play man for the Dolphins, not in there today. They're going to measure. Don't forget, it'll be the Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Redskins, both coming up next. Most of you will see that game. And another great resumption of a terrific rivalry.
Well, there's been some great games in that stadium up there. I remember Walt Garrison back in the old days was clobbered by Kenny Houston at the goal line. Washington won that one, and there was many a times up there where the game was down to the last second. And the caliber of play this year by those teams, it could be very well happen again today.
Coming up next, and a first down, as you saw. Miami continues it, and the clock continues to run. There is Tony Nathan, who has a hip pointer. He suffered the injury against Tampa Bay Monday night.
Yeah, the opening play, too. I think the opening series.
That's right.
Was missed the rest of the game. Today, Vigorito's doing a pretty good job, Hill, but it's been mainly Franklin on the ground.
Nat Moore is split left, and Cepolo is wide right. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. And Andra Franklin again with a good block by Ed Newman, and Franklin is off with another first down inside the 20-yard line. Andra Franklin is the running back hero, as we showed you at the top of the ball game, and a good block by Nat Moore.
There's 64, the right guard. Look at him pull out to the left right here. He leads the play, and he knocks away the 4th man, McNeil. And again, good blocking downfield by Duriel Harris. It springs him to the outside, and finally Teal gets over there. Nat Moore this time. Number 89 was the guy that got the block. Before it was Duriel Harris. Moore, both fine wide receivers, and doing a good job blocking.
He is on his way to 100 yards. Working hard today is Franklin, and there's Ed Newman, who pulled nicely on the play. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line of Minnesota. Dolphins trying to open up a lead, and Franklin again inside the 15-yard line. Tommy Hannon this time, but Andra Franklin is running outside and inside against the Minnesota Vikings defense.
Well, Ronnie Lee is a steady blocker at the tight end position. Not a great pass receiver. At least they don't go to him a great deal. But the blocking there by Loxo and Lee sprung Franklin loose. Franklin's taking advantage of that fine blocking, as you mentioned earlier, Dick. That offensive line, Don Shula is very happy with it in comparison to his old offensive line of a few years back in Super Bowl caliber.
So the crowd enjoys the Miami defense and Andra Franklin's work this afternoon. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. 12-7. Now a pause for a word from your local station.
Tuesday, Andy Williams is back for an early New England Christmas. It's an exciting holiday special of song and celebration with Andy's special guests. Tuesday.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
This is CBS. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevrolet. Chevrolet is USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge. And by Memorex cassette tape. Is it live or is it Memorex?
Stockton and Roger Staubach as we welcome you back to the fourth quarter of this game in the Orange Bowl. The Miami Dolphins lead the Minnesota Vikings 12-7, and the Dolphins are charging.
If they gave you points for first downs, they'd be in great shape. They've controlled the football, but only got 3 points.
2nd and 3 at the 12.
In that third quarter.
Andre Franklin, not much this time, gets to the 10-yard line. Other games around the National Football League. More than the halfway point of this 9-game regular season campaign. San Diego over Cleveland 27-6 in the third quarter at Cleveland Stadium. St. Louis still has a 10-point lead over the Philadelphia Eagles in the third quarter of their game. Green Bay still the same score, 20-7 over Buffalo in the battle of 3-1 teams. And Houston over the New York Giants 7-3 in the fourth quarter at Giant Stadium in what is a surprise. Rob Carpenter returning to action. The Bears over New England 23-13 in the third quarter. First down. Franklin got the first down, and it's 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
That's amazing. That third quarter, Minnesota had the ball for 4 plays in offense. 1 was a punt. Miami has controlled the football, got 3 points out of that third quarter, so it's still a very tight game, a big drive here.
It's going to be a big score on Shula, who saw his team struggle inside in the first quarter. Tough yardage inside. Andre Franklin all the way, touchdown Miami. 40 yards on 6 carries in this drive. So Bud Grant has a problem on his hands, and the problem is the one he feared the most, Andre Franklin. They have not been able to stop him, and the Miami Dolphins are now leading 18-7. Von Schaman with Strock to hold to try to add the 19th point. And Von Schaman, kick is good. Boy, did he barrel in for this score, Roger.
Well, John Sandusky, the offensive line coach, couldn't have had a better drive. It was mostly on, almost all, I guess all on the ground, really. Franklin got most of it here. He gets good blocks at the point of attack in Kuchenberg, Kiesler, and Stevenson. Also from the outside, there was a good block, and Franklin took advantage of all of them. Got in the end zone.
So it is 19-7 with plenty of time to go, but Minnesota's got to get the offense moving.
Avis Express, the first express service to require no pass, was just the beginning. I'm David Mahoney, chairman of Avis. Now there's another first, Avis Shuttle, for busy travelers who commute between major cities. And this service is available at 16 airports, where you can now pick up your contract before your flight. When you land, you go straight to your car. Avis Shuttle Express, another way trying harder, makes Avis second to none.
Second to none.
From the leading edge of technology comes a new generation of video electronics from Zenith. At the touch of a button, the giant screen rises and you enjoy Space Screen 45 TV. Push a space phone button and turn your TV into a telephone. Produce a movie with your VCR and play it back on Zenith's new component TV system with stereo capability. Video high-tech, part of the new generation from Zenith, where the quality goes in before the name goes on.
Please. 19-7 the score. Miami is in front now of Minnesota. Important game for the Vikings at 2-2. There's a logjam there with 4 clubs in the NFC, and this kick by Von Schaman sails into the end zone. Washington and Dallas coming up, and you have had more than your share of aches and pains in that great series.
I learned to wear rib pads after one of those games. Broke a couple of ribs on a quarterback draw on the goal line. I don't like those quarterback draws on the goal line, but Washington was always a fiercely fought football game, and again the Redskins are back, and it's like the games of old, with both contending right now to get into the playoffs.
Tom Landry looking for his 200th career victory as an NFL coach in that one. He'd love to get it against the Skids in Washington, that's for sure. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. In motion, Sammy White. And you can expect Kramer to go up on top in this series if he can. Here's Tony Galbraith out of the backfield, and he takes it out to the 26. Dewey makes the stop. Jarvis Redwine who's in his second year, has been a kick returner. But at the University of Nebraska, he was the star All-American ball carrier. And he got most of the headlines. And the man who didn't get many of the headlines was Andra Franklin, who was the blocking back for Nebraska. But so far, it's been Franklin's day and perhaps Franklin's pro career more than red wine. Kramer is dumped at the 20. Larry Gordon came in from the linebacking spot to make the tackle, and the Miami defense looks superb today.
We've seen every type of blitz. Gordon's had a big day with the key interception, but he's also blitzed well. Roan's been in there. A.J. Dewey's been in there. Ruditsky. They keep changing up the blitz, and that's been the problem today for the Minnesota offense. They've been kept off guard. Kramer's been harassed most of the day, and he just hasn't had much time.
Well, you know, Bud Grant was hoping that Miami wouldn't have too many 2nd and 5s, but for the Miami defense, they've been able to bring in Fulton Walker and Kozlowski. There's 6 backs on 2nd down, a lot today. 3rd down and 9 at the 21. Kramer, slingshot pass, incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and the Miami defense does it again on a pass intended for Rashad.
Well, that was Bocamper that caused that sidearm throw right there. He was in, rushing hard, and again, Kramer had no chance. The fans love it.
So Coleman will punt from inside the 10. And now Miami really pressing Minnesota defensively, and they look like they have a world of confidence right now. Good field position, controlling the ball. Coleman angling it away from Vigorito, who calls for a fair catch at the 38-yard line. So Miami controlling the ball well. Good field position when we come back, and they have a 19-7 lead over the Vikings.
Congratulations, you coached a pretty mean game.
Well, I had a pretty good teacher.
Did I teach you the part about the winning coach buying the loan, Brown?
You got it.
Give me 10 minutes. I gotta go yell at my players.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
So tell me, what'd you say to your teacher?
Told him we were out coached.
From the furnaces at Ford, it's Mustang GT, the boss for 1983. Hot new styling. New 4-barrel carburetor, a 5-liter high-output engine. The boss, the 175 horsepower Mustang GT. One hot piece of American steel.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Next weekend on CBS Sports, the NFL excitement continues. Saturday, the perennial battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Sunday, more great regional action next weekend on CBS Sports.
12 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Dick Stockton and Roger Staubach under the sunshine of the Orange Bowl with the Dolphins trying to win their 4th game in 5 starts. And David Woodley has done a good job orchestrating this Miami offense today, a ball control offense. Passing on 1st down. Up top. It was tipped and an incomplete pass. It was intended for Ronnie Lee, who is used primarily as a blocking tight end.
Matt Blair tipped the ball, prevented the completion. Minnesota has had the ball 2 series in the 2nd half. It's been all Miami. They haven't got a 1st down, and of course Miami stayed on the ground. That was a unusual call, but a good call, I guess, at 1st down. Keep them guessing, but they've been really running the ball. The last series, they scored without throwing a pass.
Andra Franklin has gained over 100 yards on 21 rushes. So the key to the ball game, again, we must tell you at the top, the offensive line, ball control, and Franklin's running. And here is Andra again. Cuts inside nicely and moves it up now to the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 5. The Houston Oilers continue to lead the New York Giants 14-3. The Giants just can't get on track. They defeated Detroit Thanksgiving Day, and Tampa Bay in the 4th quarter on a field goal has moved ahead of the New Orleans Saints 13-10. Green Bay solidly in front of Buffalo 27-7. So the Packers bouncing back from the loss to the Jets last week. 3rd and 3 at the 45. Pass complete, first down. Eddie Hill fumbles, and here comes John Turner down the sideline. John Turner is knocked out of bounds, and that's what the Vikings wanted, a big turnover to get him back in the game, and they may be headed that way. John Turner on the pass off the hands of Eddie Hill.
You're exactly right. That's what they need, a shot of adrenaline right there, and that'll give it to him. That ball was there for the first down, popped right out into Turner's hand when he was hit. Here, Woodley's just trying to get the first down. He drills it in there. Good job. Right there's the hit, and number 59, Matt Blair, the big play guy, knocks it into John Turner's hand. He's down the sidelines. Tommy Kramer has got some new life.
So the Minnesota Vikings will try to take advantage of this golden opportunity. About to say that Miami has played the way Shula likes it. Mistake-free football. No turnovers and 1 penalty, but now they've got the turnover, and let's see if the Vikes can take advantage. And now the Vikings will call a timeout. So the clock shows plenty of time, 11:47, and Minnesota uses a timeout, so each team has 2 remaining. 19-7 is the score, and it's imperative for the Vikings standpoint that they get something on this drive.
Hey, Buzz, look. Here's 2 good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Hi, guys.
Well, look who's back.
Okay, Paul Bunyan. Let's go watch some of this burn.
You always work your guests this hard.
You got enough strength left to lift a Lowenbrow?
Lowenbrow? I'll use 2 hands.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
I know the work's pretty hard, but the pay is not bad.
Now, there's a steel-belted radial that meets today's driving challenges head-on. The new 72,000-mile Olympian. Made by Uniroyal, Olympian's all-season tread takes any weather in stride. Built to outdistance Michelin X and Goodyear Arriva. Now buy 4 Olympians and get a $200 bond from Kmart. Buy 2, get a $100 bond. The Olympian. It goes the distance. The Olympian. Quality by Uniroyal. The price by Kmart.
That play by John Turner was a fumble recovery, actually, after the reception by Eddie Hill and returned 35 yards. 1st and 10 Vikings following the timeout by Kramer. The ball at the 22 of the Dolphins.
Normally you go to the air with a big play after a turnover like that.
Play action. Kramer in trouble. Doug Betters is leading the cheers, but the man who made the play, or the men we should say, for the Miami Dolphins, Bob Brzezinski, the linebacker number 59, and a big loss to the 29.
Kramer had 3 men out this time, Sensor, White, and Rashad. The bootleg does not really fool the linebackers. He's trying to come back to White. The linebackers are back in pretty good shape. Ernie Roan's back there. This is what he doesn't want to have happen, a trap, a lost yardage situation after a big turnover. But again, excuse me, the Dolphins defense done it again on that particular play.
Brzezinski and Doug Betters, who is 6'7", came in on the play. It is 2nd now and 17 at the 29-yard line. Kramer in the shotgun. Penalty flag is down. He dumps it off to Galbraith. Galbraith still going inside the 20. Galbraith still going to the 15. Galbraith down to the 11-yard line. And what a terrific exhibition of 2nd and 3rd efforts. But let's see what the penalty marker is all about. Glenn Blackwood made the tackle. And it's against Miami, I believe. Illegal procedure called against the Dolphins. And a big play for the Vikings.
Good pressure again on Kramer this time, but he maneuvers out of it. He's looking downfield. Excellent coverage. He's trying to pump deep to White. He's covered. Finally sees Galbraith, gets rid of the ball, and Galbraith does a lot on his own right here. Walker misses the tackle, cuts back inside. Blackwood misses a tackle. Franklin stays on his feet, and finally he's brought down by the other Blackwood, this time Glenn Blackwood, the brother of Lyle.
28-yard pickup, so it is a 1st down. 1st and 10 on the 11. The Vikings can get another 1st down without scoring. Ricky Young, number 34, is in the backfield. Kramer fires incomplete, penalty flag down, away from the ball. We might have had interference. And we have holding against Miami. It is half the distance to the goal line and an automatic first down. It is against the Dolphins, the second penalty in a row against Miami. Here it is.
Defense. First down.
It was against Don McNeil, the cornerback. So it's first and goal now at the 5. In the last minute and a half, the Dolphins, who have been error-free, have committed 1 turnover and 2 penalties. Nearly 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Galbraith gets inside the 5 to the 2. Wes Hamilton, the right guard, who has made several key blocks all day for the Vikings. Number 61 was there once again. And Galbraith seeing a lot of action here in the absence of Ted Brown, who has not played today with a sore knee. They mark it at the 1, so we'll call it first and goal at the 1. Or second and goal at the 1. Line up with 2 tight ends. We'll watch Bob Brewer, number 82. They use him a lot as a receiver on goal line plays. Galbraith, short, does not make it. It'll be third down and goal inside the 1.
Now those linemen, all they do is bury. The offensive linemen have got to get low and try to root them out of there at least for a yard or 2, and they really had a stalemate and maybe a very moderate game that time.
Bob Hauer, the nose tackle, and old friend Vern Den Herder, the 12-year veteran who came out of retirement to help Don Shula with his depth up front, number 83. There he is, 6'6", 252, veteran of the Super Bowl year. Third and goal. There it is, at the 1. And Galbraith is in for the touchdown. The Vikings come back. Good block by Ricky Young, Roger.
Yeah, there was movement there. Young was the lead back that led for Galbraith, but Ed Newman or Wes Hamilton and Tim Irwin did a good job on that right side of the line. They just rooted Miami out of there just enough for Ricky Young to lead through, pick off a linebacker right here. Make sure that linebacker doesn't pop Galbraith before he's past the goal line, which he got over with plenty of room to spare.
Dan Meyer with Steve Dills holding will try to bring the Vikings to within 5 of the Dolphins. His kick is good, so the Vikings are back in it with 9:25 to go. It's a 19-14 game, and it was a turnover that put up Minnesota.
Recently, a ceremony took place at the House of Commons to honor a few extraordinary wines. As wine experts from all over Europe looked on, more awards went to the wines of one winery than to any other. A winery from California. The California winery whose wines were honored more than any others.
Johannesburg Riesling.
The award-winning winery of Ernest and Julio Gallo. From Ernest and Julio Gallo, all the best.
Toyota presents a truck that helped make Toyota the best-selling line of trucks in the world. 1983 Toyota 3/4-ton truck with the biggest standard engine in its class, giving it the biggest payload in its class. 1,800 pounds of payload. Now, how do you feel about the Toyota 3/4-ton truck?
Somebody did it right.
Next Saturday, 2 great matchups and exciting regional plays. The USC Trojans against the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Houston Cougars against the Syracuse Orangemen. Next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Well, the Vikings took advantage of that turnover, the fumble recovery and the run by Turner. They only had to go 22 yards, but they did it, and Galbraith with the touchdown. Rick Danmeyer to kick off, 19-14 to score. Danmeyer and Mark Mosley, the only straight-ahead place kickers in the NFL. Picked up by Rich Diana, the promising rookie from Yale, and he gets to the 35. Let's go to the scoreboard right now in the National Football League and see what's happening. St. Louis leading Philadelphia in the fourth quarter. Chicago, same score, 23-13 over New England, fourth quarter at Soldier Field. Houston over the New York Giants, 14-3. Fourth period at Giants Stadium. Tampa Bay continues to lead New Orleans 13-10 in the fourth quarter. And it's Green Bay now 30, Buffalo 7 in the fourth period. And next Sunday, the NFL Today starts it off. We'll see what the New Orleans Saints are all about with George Rogers, Kenny Stabler in that game in Atlanta. Washington plays at St. Louis, and a full schedule of activity on CBS Sports. 1st and 10 at the 35 for the Dolphins. Here's Andre Franklin. They haven't solved him yet. Fred McNeil makes the tackle on Franklin, who's gone over 100 yards in this game.
Miami had this game completely under control. That 19-7 lead, they were driving again. They had stopped Minnesota on 2 occasions, and the only 2 times they had the ball in the second half, and pop, a turnover, bounces in the arms of Turner, and the game is anybody's game right now. A whole complete swing and things, and of course this is a critical series here for Minnesota defensively.
David Woodley is 13 for 19 for 132 yards. He has a 2nd and 6 facing it. He'll go with Franklin again. Franklin is 2 yards shy of a first down, but he picks up some yards. And now, as you saw, Bruce Hardy signal, let's have the 2 tight ends on short yardage now on 3rd down. There is Dwight Stevenson, number 57, who took over the starting center's role this year on the Miami Dolphins. Mark Dennard had been the starter last year, but Stevenson, a 2nd-round draft choice out of Alabama, in his 3rd year, very active and very agile as he comes toward you, moved into the starting role. 3rd and 1 at the 44. In motion Hardy, and it's Franklin, does not make it. And Scott Studwell was there to prevent Andre Franklin from getting a first down, and the Dolphins will have to punt.
Now the rhythm was off on this play with the tight end coming down. The rhythm was off a little bit. Good penetration by Minnesota to stop that play. Watch the tight end coming lead here to block number 72, White. And of course there was a little bit of rhythm was off, and I think the play was also given away, and good penetration that time by the rest of the Minnesota line that stopped that first down.
Tom Morris punting from the 30. Eddie Payton single safety. Ball bounces at the 22 and takes a Miami bounce, and it is down at the 3. Ron Hester downs it at the 3. So Kramer now faced with a 97-yard drive, and Tom Morris does his job as well as you can ask him. Well, tonight on CBS, good fare for you, 60 minutes, followed by the All-Star Party for Carol Burnett and the 7th Annual Circus of the Stars. 3 outstanding programs tonight on CBS. Well, now Kramer is not faced with good field position following a turnover. He's got to take him a long way, Rod.
Yeah, he just, you're right, and that punt that time was, he kicked it just enough where Eddie Payton wasn't sure whether he should catch it or not. And of course, he let it roll, and it was productive for Miami.
53-yard punt. 7:02 remaining in the 4th quarter. Kramer, but under pressure, he's going for Sammy White, and it's tipped at the last minute by Gerald Small. Gerald Small tipped it, and Sammy White had beaten the Miami cornerback.
Small almost timed that a little bit late. He saw the ball coming, then realized it was too high, and White actually got behind him, but he did jump and tip the ball and kept White from making a big play.
White caught 10 passes last week, a personal high for him, and he caught 3 touchdown passes against Miami back in 1976. 2nd and 10 now at the 3. Crowd yelling defense. Kramer in his end zone going for White, and it's incomplete. Don McNeil covering on the other side makes a fine play. Don McNeil, 1st-round draft pick 3 years ago from Alabama, and Don Shula thinks he's destined to be all-pro.
Here's White is running another post route to this side. McNeil gives him some room. Just at the last minute, he comes in here to knock it away. But they're trying to get that seam in the post over the linebackers into that hole. McNeil makes a good defensive play there.
Kramer is now 14 for 24. 115 yards, 2 interceptions, and he faces 6 defensive backs right here. 3rd and 10. Sammy White in motion. Kramer gets it out to the 12-yard line to Sammy White. They may be short of a first down.
That's a mistake.
I think they're short. They had to get it out to the 13.
That's a mistake by White. He should, when he turned around, he should have made sure he had the first down. But he was short.
It'll be 4th down. They're going to measure, but I think he is short.
This is a tester right here. If he's short, it's probably about 6 inches.
Maybe more than that. Now what do?
You got a punt. 6 minutes and 38 seconds to go. There's a lot of time, but Kramer's magic in the last 2 minutes. But again, Miami with a field goal puts Minnesota out of a touchdown, so you need a good punt. Field position again, a big factor here.
Coleman has had to punt with his back to the wall throughout this game. Continues to be the Viking punter because Bud Grant says, why keep bringing new people in? Let him have a chance to feel he'll be here a while. Stability, that's the keynote for the Vikings. Coleman a yard in the end zone. Vigorito at the 45-yard line. The ball bounces at the 39 and will take a hop into Miami territory and stop at the 46-yard line. On the scoreboard, the Giants coming back, trailing Houston now 14-10 in the 4th quarter. San Diego over Cleveland 27-13. Pittsburgh over Kansas City in the 4th 28-7. Steelers coming back from their upset at Seattle. Chicago maintaining the lead over New England 26-13. Next, Dallas at Washington or Atlanta at Denver. Check your local listings, but that Dallas-Washington game should be a dandy. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for the Dolphins. 6:04 remaining 4th quarter. They lead by 5 points, and Franklin gets back to the line of scrimmage. Doug Martin, number 79, shaken up early, was right there to make the play. Timeouts remaining 2 apiece. We're not into that close territory yet. .540 remaining in the 4th period. Enough time for Tommy Kramer, if he gets decent field position, to try to perform his 2-minute magic. But right now, the onus is on the Minnesota defense here. 2nd and 9 at the 47. Tommy Vigorito looking for a hole, and he finds one, gets to midfield. Good slashing runner is Tommy Vigorito out of the University of Virginia. Was a 5th-round draft choice. Keeps plugging away. And maybe plugs away and maybe epitomizes Don Shula's no-name club, no-talent club compared to some others as much as anyone. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Old shotgun right here has got to be loaded.
Well, a big play now, big 3rd down play for Minnesota here and for Miami. Ball control-wise, this could be a big first for the Dolphins. Vikings have 6 defensive backs. Big play right here. Woodley's pass, penalty marker down. The pass is incomplete.
I think it's holding.
It was intended for Vigorito.
Minnesota will refuse this.
Roger Staubach, eagle eye here. Saw the holding call and will also, because he has been in so many of these situations, know that obviously Minnesota will decline and force Miami to punt.
I don't think you have to be in any situations to know that. That would holding, refuse. Now Eddie Payton should play up a lot closer this time. Don't let that ball bounce again. Also, they're putting in 2 other receivers down there on both sides of the field, so they don't have that same problem they did before, which could have cost them the football game.
Tom Ara's last time kicked a 53-yard punt. Got Leo Lewis, number 87, and Tommy Hannon back there along with Payton. He's going for the sidelines, and he hits it. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be the 25, so I think Ara's won a little bit better than that. out of bounds at the 25-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys will try to tie Washington for the top spot in the NFC. Tom Landry looking for his 200th victory as an NFL coach. The Redskins are the only undefeated team remaining in the NFL. And you just know when those clubs play, it's a classic. Theismann and White, the quarterbacks. Dorsett and Riggins, the running backs. They got Charlie Brown, sensational rookie. Theismann loves him.
Riggins and Washington both are going to be key. Washington will be back, and they need Joe Washington for the big plays.
1st and 10 with 4:28 to go. The ball at the 25-yard line. Kramer needs protection, and this pass is intercepted. Ernie Rowe, or was it Bocamper? Kim Bocamper has intercepted the pass, 6'6", 250 pounds, and he just tipped it to himself, and a big Miami interception.
Number 58, there was a blitz. Kramer felt the blitz, he felt the pressure, but Bocamper started to come and backed off. Kramer didn't see him right there. He thought everybody was coming, and when he drilled the ball, he didn't see Bocamper, who started to come, dropped back. He's a defensive end, former linebacker, made a great play right there. A sneaky play, a very costly play for Minnesota. Kramer's 3rd interception.
Bocamper's first of the year. Miami has it 1st and 10 on the Minnesota 29. Tom Vigorito falls down after picking up a couple. So the turnovers have really affected all the scoring in this game.
What flexibility this Minnesota team has between its linebackers. You got Bocamper, a linebacker, now a defensive end. You got Dewey, a former lineman, now he's a linebacker, and they just keep mixing people up, all big play guys, and they're doing a good job. They're really a fine defensive football team.
Miami Dolphins, they are #1 in the NFL against the pass. 2nd and 8 at the 27. Clock running, 3:45 remaining, 4th quarter. 19-14, the Dolphins lead the Vikings. And here comes Andra Franklin trying to break tackles, gets to the 20-yard line. Tommy Hannon makes the shoe top tackle. Short of a 1st down, but Franklin has been the key to a terrific ball control offensive effort by the Dolphins today, and he lost the shoe in the process.
He might be a little tired also. He could stay out a play or two. He was getting oxygen on the sideline before. He's over 100 yards. He's been the workhorse for the offense in a hot, humid day.
Franklin went into the game as the leading rusher at 282 yards and one of the top 5 rushers in the AFC. 3rd and 1 now at the 20. Under 3 minutes to go, 4th period. And movement in the line. It looked as if the Vikings had moved. If so, it'll be a Miami 1st down. See if he was drawn off. A field goal by the Dolphins would put this game out of reach, and it is against Minnesota. 1st down, Miami. That's the last thing the Vikings needed. Getting a breather on the sidelines is Andra Franklin. 124 yards and 1 touchdown today.
Really impressed with Bill Arnsparger. He started the 3-man, was really the guy that got the 3-man line with the linebackers back with Bob Mathis, and number 53 called the 53 defense a long time ago. And he stayed with it, and he's given a lot more flexibility. It's a multiple defense. A lot of teams in the National Football League use a multiple defense. Of course, Miami uses it also with personnel.
1st and 10 at the 15. 2:49 remaining. Minnesota has to stop Miami, and then they get the ball and score a touchdown. Vigorito as the Dolphins using up the clock now. Keep in mind that Miami can't allow, or Minnesota can't allow, a Miami score of any kind here. Updating some scores. 4th quarter, the Eagles coming close. The Cardinals 23 and the Eagles 20. Baltimore leading Cincinnati in what is developing into be a big surprise, 10-6 in the 3rd quarter. The Giants have overtaken the Houston Oilers 17-14 in the 4th quarter.
Cincinnati looked like the team to beat in the National Football League, and they're struggling against Baltimore, the team that everybody beats.
Vigorito and Franklin are the setbacks, and Franklin stopped, and now the Vikings call a timeout. Franklin gets to about the 11-yard line, and Minnesota calls a timeout. They have 1 more remaining. And we are now having the 2-minute warning. So that will not count as a timeout, although they signal one left for Minnesota. We will check that when we get back. This is the 2-minute warning, and the Dolphins face now with 3rd down.
NFL's most valuable player, brought to you by Apple Computer. He is easily identified by his bald head and funny name. However, in 1963, Yell Burton Abraham Tittle distinguishes himself with his passing arm. As quarterback for the New York Giants, Tittle throws an NFL record 36 touchdown passes and is named the league's most valuable player.
Apple Computer.
My Apple has a great head for stats. It sure makes my job a lot easier.
There are more people in more places doing more things with Apples than with any other personal computer in the world.
Man, we never travel without the Apple.
And of all these people using Apples, most had never touched a computer before. Apple, the most personal computer.
There's the situation, and they still haven't corrected the scoreboard. We saw a Minnesota player call a timeout, but it was really the 2-minute warning and 1:58 showing on the clock. So we'll see whether the Vikings have 1 or 2 timeouts remaining, and it should be 2, Roger.
It should be. Normally you want to call a timeout just before the 2-minute warning to take advantage of that timeout and then get one at the 2-minute warning, but they called it, and the scoreboard.
They corrected it, Rod. They got 2 left.
Right. They just put it back up there.
3rd down and 6. Right now, the Vikings defense has to stop Miami. And then worry about Von Schaman. There's a quarterback draw. Woodley is hit. And he does not quite make a 1st down. And now the Vikings will call one of their 2 remaining timeouts. James White, Duck White, and John Turner make the stop on Woodley. And that was a good call by the Dolphins.
About a yard short, but it was, it looked good for a second. They might get the 1st down. Again, Minnesota's been a team, historical team of making big plays and specialty teams. They need a blocked field goal right here.
They need Matt Blair, that's for sure. The Giants are leading Houston 17-14 in the 4th quarter of their game at Giant Stadium. Houston had the lead early in the game, and the Giants stormed back. And right now it's 17-14 in the 4th quarter at Giant Stadium. And next Saturday on CBS Sports, it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. There's the Giant lead. Eagles are fighting for their lives against the Cardinals, and in a big game for survival next Saturday, beginning at noon Eastern, the NFL Today, and the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. 4th and 1 for Miami. Uwe Von Schaman will try to put this game close to out of reach, because with 1:50 to go, anything can happen. Minnesota has 1 timeout remaining. Von Schaman has had a checkered game. He had a conversion blocked by Blair, and we'll be watching number 59. Missed a field goal, but then he clicked on a couple of field goals, got his confidence back. 26-yard attempt. Make it 25-yard attempt. Von Schaman's kick is up. It is good. A big one.
Yeah, that was an extra point with a 5-yard penalty, so that was a close one, but it was an important field goal, as important as a 50-yarder. That puts them out of touchdown reach. They'll need a touchdown and a field goal to win this game.
Well, if any quarterback who's had the reputation of putting points quickly in a hurry at the end, it's Tommy Kramer. He's going to need some help from his offensive line, however, because he has been harassed all day. And so the Vikings are hoping for a decent run back of this kick. Maybe a big touchdown and a field goal following an onside kick. A lot to ask for. But coming up next, we have plenty to give you. The NFL Today in Dallas and Washington. Cowboys and the Redskins, and another renewal of that great battle. Washington unbeaten at 4-0. Dallas at 3-1, and Roger knows all about that game.
Tom Landry used to really be concerned about George Allen. We had a hotel that overlooked our field. He used to buy the rooms overlooking our practice field. Afraid George was going to spy on him. Joe Gibbs is a lot more low-key. but he's getting the success that George had in the mid-70s.
Tommy Kramer is going to have to try to bring the Vikings out of it and get them points in a hurry with 1:46 showing. Darren Nelson has taken a spot down in the goal line along with Jarvis Redwine. So Von Schaven will be kicking into a lot of speedy backs for Minnesota.
You know, Kramer's touchdown to interception ratio was excellent going into this game. He had 8 TDs, 3 interceptions. He had a great week last week, 5 touchdown passes, but the Miami defense have put a lot of pressure on him. He's thrown 3 interceptions. It's not been a Tommy Kramer day.
Von Schaven trying to kick it, and it stays in bounds. Darren Nelson coming up the sideline of the 15 to the 20 and goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So the clock now has 1:42 to go, and Nelson ran a little bit too far and fell down over all the ropes on the sideline. That's the clock. Timeout remaining. Minnesota has 1 timeout to go. So Kramer's going to have to perform some magic here. But the way Miami's defense has played today, they have been more than equal to the task. Only 1 turnover, a couple of penalties, and 1 kind of lapse in play by the Dolphins when the Vikings went in for the touchdown that brought him to 19 to 14. But Schaven's field goal has given him the 8-point lead.
Well, they'll have 2 safeties way back there. Don't want to give up any big plays.
There they come. They're coming in on Kramer, and Kramer up the middle. And we had some bumping there as Ernie Roan defending against Sammy White. Nothing called. It'll be just incompleted pass.
Well, the area you have to hit, of course, is that deep area again, that 20 to 25-yard area. Kramer hit one over the middle before the half that was in position to set him up for a field goal before the interception. So he needs to hit that area and hope to run down there, throw the ball out of bounds, get the clock stopped, and hit a few more like that. They're taking away the deep passes to the sidelines to stop the clock, Miami, plus they're extremely deep.
Terry LeCount, number 80, wide to the right. White and Rashad to the left.
Won't get behind anybody.
2nd and 20. Kramer is hit as he lets go of the ball, and it is intercepted. Gerald Small is going to run this in for the touchdown.
Roughing the passer, though. They're going to bring this one back.
That's right. That's right.
A.J.
Exactly right.
A.J. is telling the referee, I didn't hurt him. He told me that one time, too.
Leave it to Roger Staubach to look at Tommy Kramer after the ball is thrown.
He threw that on one skate as A.J. He really wasn't maybe hitting late, but he wrapped that hand around his, towards the upper body, around the neck to the face. I think that's why they called it.
All right, here's Fred Silva. So this will be 15 yards and a first down to the 40.
Defense, number 58, personal foul, passer ahead.
Kim Bocamper, and there's Don Shula. Not so mellow anymore, is he?
A.J. was complaining the referee is trying to protect Bocamper, but Bocamper, number 58, is the one that got in there. He's come a little stunned at the inside rush by Dewey, and then outside comes Bocamper right there. See, he's got that left hand.
All right, the Vikings now. Penalty marker down again, and on the run, Kramer is going deep, and it is incomplete. The intended pass receiver was Terry LeCount. It was out of bounds and another flag. Doug Betters is pleading his case. And this is against Miami again. Bocamper might have been offside. So Bocamper with the big interception before, roughing Kramer, and now he's offside. Clock remaining, 1:17 showing on the clock.
Don Shula doesn't like that at all, does he?
Offside. First down.
Shula arguing 2 straight plays. Couple of calls going against the Dolphins. First down and 5 at the 45. 1:17 on the clock.
Need a big play and an onside kick.
Vikings are moving the ball, but they're doing it with penalties right now. Kramer dumps it off to Galbraith. Galbraith trying to get away from the Dolphins, and he can't. And it's picked off. Kozlowski picked the ball away. Let's see what they call it. They blow it dead. Blow it dead at the 38.
A.J.'s helmet just went farther than any of David Woodley's passes today. It went about 35 yards, and they're going to probably penalize him for that.
unsportsmanlike conduct against A.J. Dewey could be the call that we're going to see. He took off his helmet and fired it to the ground.
Last time I saw that was with Bob Lilly when we lost to Baltimore 16-13 in this stadium, and he bounced his helmet off the ground and almost went 30 feet in the air, and that's not an exaggeration either.
He hasn't put the helmet back on yet.
He's lost all his pads. All the pads, those pads are buckled in there. They're all over the field. There's more pads on the field than there were flags.
Could you imagine the rash of penalties against the Miami Dolphins? 106, tough way to use the clock.
I don't know what the call was on the fumble over there. I guess the ball was blown dead on the sideline. But maybe they might have given a recovery of the fumble.
Like conduct, but it's Miami's ball.
It's a screen pass to the outside, and Galbraith makes a little bit of a fake right there in Roan. Tries to get back to the outside, and here's number 40 this time is Mike Kozlowski, who steals the ball when it's on the ground there. And
it's Miami's ball. Kozlowski, 10th round draft choice in his 3rd year from Colorado, and he had 2 interceptions against Buffalo in a key game last year to clinch the division title for the Dolphins. Another big play here by Kozlowski. 106 remaining.
Strange set of events right there, and kind of a strange game today. It's been one where you can't really say it's been a great game by the way the teams have played. It's been good defensive plays, not a great deal of offensive plays. There's A.J. on the sidelines. He was upset. He's out of the game. There'll be a little bit of a fine, about $200 or so.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. You know, the Vikings really stormed in there. You remember what happened in the Vikings called their last time out in the San Francisco game against St. Louis when Joe Montana kneeled down just like Woodley did there and then jumped up and threw a pass. And you know, at this time of year with this situation with the abbreviated campaign when points could be a decider and one of the tiebreakers, I guess anything goes here, and turnabout is fair play, so you have to watch out for trick play.
Yeah, but you don't want to do anything like that. That's an unwritten law, and Joe might have affected the quarterback's health for the next couple of years.
True.
Because that's an unwritten law. When the quarterback goes down, you just don't pull anything from that play, and normally the defense won't clobber him.
That's a good point. I think that once you break that sort of unwritten rule, then you're going to see what we almost just had, and that is the defense making sure that the quarterback is down and maybe a little extra shove.
Well, this is the old quarterback flop, though. You'd love to have this as a team. You know you got things under control. You can run the clock out, and it hurt my rushing average though, because they count that as 1 rush, 0 yards for the quarterback.
You were worried about that, weren't you?
I had a good rushing average.
But Grant has seen turnovers do his team in. Fine defense by Miami today, and Andre Franklin. Bud Grant said if we don't stop Andre Franklin, we're in deep trouble. He did not stop Franklin, and he was ultimately in deep trouble. So now with 59 seconds to go, the Dolphins using up the clock. No more timeouts for Minnesota.
You know, there's no particular play, I guess you could say, affects the game, but the interception before the half when Minnesota had a chance to maybe score, Miami gets it, hits Cephalo for a big play, and Von Schaman gets his confidence back, kicks that field goal. They came storming out the second half, controlled the ball for 9 minutes, and that swing there before the half had a lot to do with the outcome of this game.
Just as we said at the top, Andre Franklin, the key to the ball control and that offensive line. Let's not minimize the work of the offensive line for the Miami Dolphins. They were really the Rock of Gibraltar for their Super Bowl champions back in '73 and '74. 20 seconds to go. The Miami Dolphins.
Also, last week, the Viking offensive line had a great day against Chicago, blocked the blitzes. Ted Brown had a good day blocking. They missed him today, but that defensive line by Miami's been a big factor.
Absolutely. They have just puzzled Tommy Kramer. And the clock runs out. We're going to be back here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. The final score, Dolphins 22, Vikings 14, but we will be back.
When you reach age 55, you're wanted by Kemper, because drivers your age or older are among the safest on the road. So the cavalry wants you. Most Kemper companies offer drivers 55 and over a special discount now and guaranteed renewal at age 60 and beyond if you've been with us for the 5 previous years. For auto discounts and guaranteed renewal, call out the cavalry. Once you compare Kemper, you'll ride with us.
We always run faster together. Maybe it's the baton. Maybe it's the way we push each other.
Bring out your best, Budweiser alive. Bring out your best, Budweiser alive. Bring out your best.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it.
Final score 22-14, and a field goal by Von Schaman to give the Dolphins the lead just before the end of the first half. And Miami really played an error-free game except for one small phase, Roger.
They did. They had the big turnover on that one fumble that popped out, but other than that, it was a great game for Miami on offense.
Executive producer of NFL football is Terry O'Neill. Today's game was produced, the senior producer first is Chuck Milton. Today's game produced by John Faratzis and directed by Bob Dunphy. Rupert Kopanex, the associate producer, and thanks to everyone, technical and production crew, and of course, as always, to my right-hand man, Marty Aronoff, for his fine job as the Miami Dolphins now go to 4-1 on the year, and the Minnesota Vikings 2-3. Coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins in the renewal of that great rivalry. Dallas 3-1, Washington 4-0. So for Roger Staubach, Dick Stockton saying so long, and CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.
Fly the friendly skies of United, where discount fares count.
After all, we're out to save money, not waste it. Right, United?
This is CBS.